today is September 3rd. I am glad that you're staying home, staying safe. Today, what I'd love to do is build on the last time I saw you, which is 2 weeks ago. Really building as far as the singing part, really building on what we were talking about as far as registers. Okay, so registers is really just a fancy word for the different parts of the voice. So we have a low register as women. We have low register. Okay, that's my chest register. It's a little more relaxed. That is my chest register. Sometimes it's called the low register. The mid register. That's about where I talk a little bit. Maybe a little higher than where I talk. Just depends. And then our head range, or our high range, or head voice, sometimes it's called, is up here. So we have, as women, we have 3 different ranges. Guys, it's different, right? So your brother, when he gets older, for instance, or your dad, right? Totally different. Okay, so your dad, for instance, has a low voice, a mid voice, and then what's called a falsetto, which is like when, like if your dad were to make a funny voice like a girl, that's falsetto. That's exactly what falsetto is. Oh, hello. That's falsetto. We don't have that. We just have low, mid, and high, or chest, mid, and head voice. So what I want to do today is have an exercise that sort of explores that. And then what I'd like to do is show you a little bit on the piano. And as I recall, I think you have a keyboard or a piano. If not, I'm sorry, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm still going to show some things to you so that when I see you next week in person with that long lesson, it'll make sense. It'll be familiar. So first, I'd love to do this exercise here. So we're going to start sort of low, and it might be almost strange. I don't want it to be uncomfortable, but it might be a little too low, Riley, if you know what I mean. But that's okay, because I want to sort of explore this. Don't push it at all or anything like that. Just kind of go easy. I want you to go. Try that with me. Nice relaxed mouth. I did that thing with my tongue, so I wanted it to be like loose. Make sure your tongue's not pulling back. Make sure your tongue is nice and relaxed and like not doing anything. Because your tongue, especially when we do oohs, really wants to pull back or make weird shapes or tighten up, okay? So keep tabs on, especially with this exercise, on your tongue. And just make sure that as you're doing it, he's just kind of sitting like this, right? Like your tongue is just kind of in your mouth, like chilling out. Like don't push it down, but just kind of like let it float. Keep going. Now we're in our mid voices. Okay, we start out in the chest. Now this is the mid range. is ooh. So you might feel a little weird now, but you just gotta go with it. Nice, a lot of air behind it. Let's try the one again. Put a little H in the beginning, Riley. Good. Now go. H in the beginning. Cool. All right. Now, that slide is really important because as we go up and down when we sing, Riley, this also goes up and down a little bit. And it's important that this, the voice box, sometimes it's called, or your larynx, knows how to do that and is loose enough it can do it well. So one of the exercises I want you to do more this week is, ooh. You've been really good at it. But it's now one of those ones that I want you to kind of focus on and be doing like on a daily basis. Ooh. Then with your tongue out. Again, to get the tongue out of the way. Ah! That's not a vowel or anything, right? That's okay. In fact, combine the two and go. So the tongue doesn't have a chance to pull back and stop. It's like, it almost becomes like a plug, like in the bathtub, like that plugs up that hole. The tongue does that to us. And it's something that in young women like you that I want to start talking about sooner rather than later. Because frankly, Riley, I have a lot of students 5-10 years older than you are, and they're having a real problem with that. And it's because they hadn't met me yet. And they got into the habit of the tongue coming back and stopping up the back of their throats. So it's a habit that I'm trying to prevent, and especially my young women early on, if I can catch it. And then it doesn't happen when you're 18 years old. You know what I mean? So those are two exercises I want you to do. The ooh, and then ooh, and then immediately follow it with a see, my voice kind of did a little, was unsure of itself. There we go. I think I just pushed it too hard that first time. Interesting. You can always learn from my mistakes. You should learn from my mistakes. That's why I always point them out. Okay, now on the piano, Riley, this is very exciting. I'm going to show you regular piano, but I'm also going to show you the kind of piano that I'd like to use as I start to teach you songwriting. Okay, so you've already written a beautiful original song. We've already started putting chords with it. I want to keep doing that. Okay, so I encourage you, I know I've said this before, I want to encourage you to keep writing lyrics. That does not mean you have to show them to me yet, but I'm just encouraging you to write. In fact, most writers, professional writers, sounds like a chore, but they tell themselves to write every day. Okay, so that doesn't mean it's going to be great. That doesn't mean you're going to look at it and go, oh, there's a song. I just want you writing a little bit every day, Riley, okay, in terms of a song. It doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be like, oh, this is a song. I just want you writing a little bit, ideas. Even if it's like brainstorming, like in school, Riley, they have you like brainstorm, or they're like, oh, just come up with ideas. Writing a little bit of something referring to a new song every day, okay? Sometimes there are things that can help you come up with ideas, okay? People watching, I know that sounds weird, But if you see people, whatever, in a restaurant or you're shopping and you see people walk past you, start thinking of stories behind that person or that group of people. What do you think those people are doing? Where do you think those people are from? Where do you think, make up a story between, you don't know those people, but make up a story between those people. Some people get their ideas from random news on the internet, in the old days newspapers. Sometimes I get ideas from other songs. Not that I copy other songs, but I will like hear a word and then I'll start writing things from that word. Like if I hear a cool word, like, I don't know, like whisper, okay? If I hear a cool word like that, I'll go, that sounds kind of like it might be a song someday. And I'll start writing everything that makes me think, that whisper makes me think of. Okay, so I want you to start writing a little bit every day. Anyway, that's the songwriting thing. Now, back to piano. So that was my songwriting tangent. Now, what I'm going to start teaching you on the piano is one, and I'm going to go up a little higher than normal just so you can see where my hands are. This is a black key group, a 2 black key group. This is a 3 black key group. I'd like you to put your right hand thumb, this is my right hand, on the white key that's to the left of that 2 black key group. The other fingers fit perfectly in a line like in kindergarten. See? If I hit only 1, 3, and 5, this is my 1 finger. This is called your 2 finger, by the way. 3, 4, 5, okay? If I only hit my thumb, middle, and pinky fingers down, and in piano, we want the whole arm to be heavy, not this. Okay, that's good piano technique, is to come down like this, rather than this or, okay, so like this. This is a C major chord. This is the same thing. I'm just doing the left hand, Riley. C major chord. And again, I'm only playing my thumb, my middle finger, and my pinky, and I'm skipping these 2. Okay? Now, on the other end, I want you to start practicing this. This is kind of the other end of piano. That's called a chord. On the other end, I'm going to teach you kind of traditional piano, which we warm up with in singing all the time, right? Almost every lesson. Now that looks kind of hard, Bradley, but it's no big deal. All I'm doing is I'm starting from my leftmost finger and walking up the stairs and then down the stairs. Here, once again, this is a 2 black key group. See that in the camera? This is a C right beside it. This is the white key right beside it. I'm going to show this to you next week, but I just wanted to show it to you so you're familiar with this. When we start next week, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you can start it now, great. Your goal is to be able to play them separately and then together. And then eventually you'll be able to play it kind of fast like that. Okay, that's a more traditional piano thing that we're going to do together. But again, I'm also going to teach the kind of piano that you'll need to play and sing together, which is very exciting. Not everybody can do that. And to be able to use the piano or keyboard to help you to write songs. Because right now, you write beautiful lyrics first, and a lot of people write that way. Sometimes I do too. But I want you to be able to, if you want to, play chords first, like and then write words while you're playing. Okay, so that's my goal for you too. So that you have a lot of different avenues to be able to write your songs. Okay, so write every day. Ooh. And then your exercises with your tongue out. And then your big slide. Ooh. Or it came out, it came back in. Okay? So we're trying to get that tongue to just fall out. Okay? So I will see you in person next week. I'm very excited for 45-minute lesson. I'll see you at 6:15 next Tuesday.